Well, hello everyone.
Hi, Matt.
Hello,
How you
Joe.
doing?
I'm good. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I've
What happened to your
taken
voice?
I've taken some tips from you from last time because you said I was sounding like a midnight DJ.
Well, I'm going to talk
So
like you.
yeah, so
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twin Speak. I'm your host, Matt
well,
Prainito, and I'm here with my co-host.
uh, my name is Desiree Johnson.
Okay, hey, Joe, you actually have to cut that out. Okay.
I'm gonna have to cut that out. You don't know who Desiree Johnson is, neither do I. All I know is that if I'm calling a radio show in the middle of the night, then that's my name.
Okay, Joe. All right. Okay.
Anyways, yep,
All
you're
right.
welcome. So,
Okay, Desiree.
anyways, all right.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you for joining, Desiree, and thank you everyone for joining Twin Speak, Christian music and other stuff.
yes, I'm Joe Prainito, and that's Matt Prainito. This is actually episode 7. Um, yeah, episode 7. Look at
Episode
us.
7.
Look at us go.
Look at, I think as of this point, 4 just posted today. So that was fun to listen to.
Yeah, it was. It was fun
Are
to
you,
listen.
are you trying to show off your little tattoo line there by scratching your head?
No,
I have to
haven't.
itch.
I have to. Yep, I got a pencil. Just got a pencil on my arm there.
You got a pencil in your arm. Yeah, I see. Oh, now you're trying to show off your guns. Okay.
If I was showing off my gums, if I was showing off my
You're showing
gums,
off your
you'd see
gums
it.
too.
Anyways, so anyway, welcome everybody. Today is kind of a fun episode here, right? But my
Gosh.
question is as it's episode 7, episode 6, you had a Twin Speak shirt and a Twin Speak cup.
I know.
I noticed that you posted something on Instagram, never told me about the Twin Speak poster that you got hanging up in your studio there. So
I know.
things you don't even tell me about.
You just never know what's going to happen on Twin Speak.
That's true.
You just won't.
You never know. But today, what's nice is we got to. Oh my gosh! Well, there it is. There it is.
No, it doesn't fit very well over the headphones.
No, it doesn't. So for those of you that can't see, Matt's got he's got a Twin Speak hat. So how does everybody feel about that? Yeah, I feel the same way.
Let me see.
It's funny because it doesn't quite fit.
There we go.
Oh, look at you! Look at you with your rich black hat. Is that just a black hat and you put a sticker on it? Because that's kind of what it looks like.
That's kind of what it looks like, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. Yeah, that's.
I'm actually going to wear this.
I'm
going to wear it.
Okay, you do that. Yeah. You do that.
It just came in actually, and what else came in?
Well, let's see. What else came in, Matt?
Well, I'm prepared for anybody that wants a sticker.
Okay,
for me to mail it to them with a nice little envelope.
Ooh,
with the sticker will go inside of it. There'll be a little something just that talks about Twin Speak, a little story, some some information on us, on Matt, Joe, Twin Speak, and other stuff, and then some QR codes here, just so that. So essentially, I mean, if those would like to get a sticker, contact us on Instagram, like us, follow us, and send us a message with your address, and then we'll put one of those little things in the mail for you and just appreciate your support.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm going to actually get on online and probably write you pretty quickly because I don't have.
You should, because you don't have any of that.
I don't have any of it. I don't have a sticker. I don't have a hat. I don't have a shirt. I don't have a poster. I don't have a QR code. What I get to do is I edit everything. I don't have a cup.
You don't have a cup?
That's a different cup. Is Bobby on the back? Is that the
one? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. The picture of you.
Yeah,
this is the same cup, by the way.
It
is the same cup, but it does have a picture, this cartoon picture of you and I, and I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out. But
sure you are.
You do resemble Bobby Hill.
I know. Well, the funny thing is because those pictures, those cartoon images will give a lot of definition to what's up close and what's far away. Not so much. So I just look like a round blob, and
No, you don't look like a round blob.
and you go uploading that picture to our Instagram.
I like your shirt too. Like I'm not sure if you look buff.
Well,
but I think I see your nipples coming through your shirt there.
Either
that or it's that I just drew it on with a Sharpie.
That's probably what you did, and you then reproduced it for everybody to see. So,
well,
anyways, well, I'll be there. I'm going to be there in a couple weeks. So,
the day that you leave and fly here, I will put it in the mail.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Then I don't have to carry the extra.
I don't want you to have to carry the extra excess baggage. And it just doesn't seem right. It's not fair.
No, you're right. And it could break, all that kind of stuff. So
you don't want it to break.
Yeah, we don't want it to break. So, anyways, today we're going to be so our opening song. We didn't play the whole opening song, but we're going to be talking about Steve Taylor's. I don't even know what number album this was. Come to think of it, we're going to be playing Steve Taylor's "I Predict 1990" album, which was and still holds up. It's an incredible record. He first came out with an EP, which is "I Want to Be a Clone," "Meltdown," "On the Fritz." Then he came out with "Limelight," I believe.
Oh, it was "Limelight" after that? The live in concert album. So studio albums is "Meltdown," "On the Fritz." Interesting. EP. So "I Want to Be a Clone" was an EP.
Yeah.
In 1983. And then there's actually another EP, which is in 2016, "Wow to the Deadness." So, but his live albums, he has "Limelight," "Liver," "Wow to the Liveness." I've never heard this.
No, this is all news to me.
Yeah, this is so "Wow to the Liveness" in 2016 live album. This is basically the perfect foil. And then in 2021, another live album with Chagall Guevara called "The Last Amen." So,
yeah.
And then his studio albums is "Meltdown," "On the Fritz," then "I Predict 90," "Squint," and then "Goliath," which is with the perfect foil.
The perfect foil, which had Peter Fuller as who's the drummer and the lead singer for Newsboys, and when he left them went solo, and then he joined the perfect foil, which that kind of went, that album I listened to that one as the drummer, but I went back recently and listened to them again, the perfect foil recently, and it just reminds me of old Steve Taylor, just the old stuff that he did. But anyways, Steve Taylor has been, somebody that I grew up with. I know you grew up with him. I mean, he just had some incredible.
Oh, we grew up in the same house. Yeah. So you're right. I did grow up with him.
We both grew
just
up
like I grew up with you. Except I made a choice to grow up with him. I did not make a choice to grow up with you. That was forced down my throat by God's gift
exactly
to our parents,
to all of us.
Not really. To me.
Well,
to all of us.
Yeah,
to all of us.
Your podcast would have been called Solo Speak. That wouldn't have been good, but anyways,
no, that's not a good name.
But no, this is we first listened to "Meltdown" because our dad had the vinyl of that, and then we kind of took it from there by, of course, seeing Steve Taylor a couple times in concert, and then we ended up getting "On the Fritz," or we got "Limelight," and then we're very confused when we got "On the Fritz," and we're like, why is he playing the same songs on every album? Until we realized, wait a minute, this is a live album. He's not playing the same songs on every album. "On the Fritz" has all different songs than "Meltdown." "Limelight's" the culprit because it's a live album. But I really
didn't realize that there was a difference, though.
No,
because he had that, and then he also had, what is it, "The Best for Last"? No, what was that? The very best. I'm going to look it up here.
Yeah, you do that.
The best we could find. It had three that never escaped, is what it says.
Yeah,
that was on there. I think it was "Bouquet," "Under the Blood," and "Down Under."
Down under. Yeah, that was a cool song. So,
and he came out with a Christmas. He's on a Christmas album, by the way, in 1988. So, but by far, honestly, I Predict 1990 was one of my favorite albums. I remember buying this album at the same time. Do you remember we bought 2 tapes?
Yep.
I Predict 1990, Steve Taylor, and the other one was
Russ Taff. Russ Taff. Yeah.
Russ Taff.
Yep.
So, which is just another awesome album. So it was fun getting both of those. But listening to I Predict 1990, we had anticipated this album because we saw him once again at the Hutsbury Farm.
I was wondering if you were going to say that. I was like, please stop saying Knott's Berry Farm. We need to.
You know what? We need to see places. Well, why don't we review some artists other than the ones that we've seen at Knott's Berry Farm?
Well, that's kind of hard to do. But we will.
Have you ever seen Steve Taylor any place other than Knott's Berry Farm?
No.
Yeah.
I never have. Never had the opportunity to. So that back then, at least in California, was the place. You can see 10 of your favorite bands 3 times a year. It was like basically like festivals is what it was. It was like seeing a festival, fall, New Year's Eve, and then spring. You got to see a festival, which they call the Jubilation. But anyways, yeah. So we're going to be reviewing this one now. Steve Taylor used a lot of satire. There's things that he said that these days you could not say in songs. And Lifeboat being one of them off of the On the Fritz album. But, we've talked about some other groups, like Krumbacher, which is, okay, let's try and figure out what he's trying to say. Steve Taylor is quite an enigma, and this album definitely has a lot of that, just, I don't know.
I don't understand. I was reading the lyrics when I was listening to the album and trying to understand what he's saying in some of the songs is difficult. But then when you read the words, but you still find what he's saying difficult.
Yeah.
It's just, it is a puzzle to understand what he's actually talking about in some of these songs.
Yeah. What are you trying to say to us, Steve Taylor? And
tell us, Steve. Tell us.
I tried.
In clear language.
Yeah. Well, I tried to. I tried to get a hold of him, and it's difficult. But he did reach out to me just a little bit.
Did he really?
Oh, good. Hi. I'm Steve Taylor. I'll be with you in just a minute. I'm getting ready to go on this promotional tour across the United States, and I just had a lot of last-minute things to do, some last-minute packing, a little last-minute ironing.
That was a message that he left on my voicemail.
Yeah, well, that was nice of him to call you while he was in the middle of packing and doing some ironing.
Well, you know what? Obviously, he thought about me. He had something to say.
I think so. Well, that's just kind of, that's who you are. Yeah. Because, you know him, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I actually, I never went to church with him. And, no. I know you're trying to get the name droppers button ready. How did I know? But I will say this. When I was at GMA, I remember walking around.
Here we go.
I was walking. Yeah. So I was walking around and, I was there with Redline, the band that I was in. And Hocus Pick was another band. that was another band.
Pick,
that was on
Redline.
That was on Freedom Records. And I looked over and I saw Hocus Pick sitting down in like the lobby, hanging out with Steve Taylor. And I was like, yeah, of course, I'm like 19, 20 years old. So this is still pretty fresh for us. Like, we love Steve Taylor. And I just looked at him like, okay, Steve Taylor. But they didn't introduce me and I didn't introduce myself. So anyways, why don't we go ahead and get into some music before we get our time can get totally taken away here, and we don't want to do that. So the first song that we're going to look at here, though, is the first song on the album, I Predict 1990, which is I Blew Up the Clinic Real Good. So
why don't you go ahead and explain what this song is about, Joe?
Well, this one I do know. So this is actually talking about abortion clinics. So this got Steve Taylor into some hot water because
he got banned
from
festivals. And Christian bookstores.
He actually, I read some stuff where he actually started to call Christian bookstores himself personally to try to explain the satire behind the song.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember being in 6th grade reading articles, which is, how his album is starting to do terrible and people are pulling it from the stores and canceling tours and stuff because of it. And so this song is he's obviously using satire. He is an ice cream man who just realizes that with an abortion clinic in the neighborhood, that if they keep on killing children, that he's going to be out of a job. So the only way to stop the madness and to keep his job would be to blow up the abortion clinic. Of course, a lot of people were saying, well, wait a minute. What he's trying to say is that he wants to kill doctors and babies and everybody. He's going to kill the whole, and people just kind of
people that are in there. And they took it way out of context. Although in fairness, this song is pretty out there.
Well,
so in fairness, I mean, to be an ice cream man and to say, hey, I need a job. So, I'm going to be out of a job if they don't have any more kids. So I need kids. So parents need to keep their babies.
Right.
And so it's an odd way of saying like that he wasn't for abortion because primarily for selfish reasons. He wanted people to buy his drumsticks.
Yeah. Well,
not the band drumsticks.
Yeah. His drumsticks.
His rocket pop.
He was wanting to throw out his drumsticks, but you couldn't play with them. So
anyways, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But he's also trying to say in the song, like he's kind of making fun of the people who are the extremists out there, which is, well, you guys are going to kill babies. Well, I'm going to blow up your clinic. It's like, okay, really? I mean, you're trying to preserve life on one side, and on the other side, you're blowing up buildings and stuff. I mean, so it's kind of the two rights don't make a wrong. But a song like this definitely would not be put out there today. And
two wrongs don't make a right.
The two wrongs do not make a right.
You said two rights don't make a wrong.
Well, that either. That's the truth.
It is true.
Matt, two rights don't make a wrong.
I'm trying to think though, like I'm trying to add up with what you said and how this actually makes sense.
Two rights make a right and two wrongs don't make a right. So if you want things to be right all the time. That's my motto.
Good. I appreciate your motto. Maybe we should just
let's go ahead and song.
Let's play the song. Stop talking.
All right, here we go. Well, that was an adventure. So anyways, obviously, great song, but I don't know if you heard, and if you're watching, Matt and I tend to do different movements and dancing, and Matt hit his mic. I'm not sure if you saw that. So anyways, you okay over there?
I am. Yeah. I'm okay. It was just really funny. It was kind of surprising. It just flew up.
What? Your mic just flew up. But anyways, I do want to mention that this
made me laugh.
This album had a video album. And I actually have it in my garage. I should have grabbed it. But
this album had a video album. That's what they used to call them.
They used to call them a video album. Yep. And probably about 6 or 7 songs from this record was on it. But this video is incredible. With him driving around. Yeah, exactly. Hey, look what you got. What do you got there?
I got it on vinyl. Oh, look what you got there.
Yeah, look at
you got it on vinyl too.
Look at that. You know what I always loved was this picture.
Yeah, I agree. That picture, you would just stare at in the room. Like you would go into the room and you'd lay down on the bed with your feet kicking in the air, just staring at that picture.
I don't recall that. I don't recall that. It was, I was probably holding
I want hair like him.
I did. But I was probably holding my hand out like that while you were trying to look like Russ Taff with your smile.
Yeah, you were holding your hand out like
Does it? Hold on. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways.
I don't know what he's pointing at. Actually,
I don't.
What is he pointing at?
Let's take a look.
He's saying something too, like, shh. He's trying to tell you to not talk.
I know what he's saying. Don't talk. There's a bear coming up behind you. And
it's not a bear. It's a wall.
No. He's telling the photographer, shh.
Oh.
There's a bear coming up behind you. And
yeah.
And you know what the thing is I've never heard from that photographer again. So rest in peace.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You notice it says here, it says on the card here, it says Steve Taylor and some band.
Oh, yeah.
When he introduces his band. Yeah, which is pretty cool because he always had the banner in the background of his concert that said Steve Taylor and some band.
And the funny thing is I remember him saying, we have to give these guys a job to keep them off the streets. And for the longest time, I would look at his band and think, wow, they don't even look like they're homeless. And I literally thought that they were homeless. So anyways.
Which is kind of funny because he'd write a song about a meltdown at Madame Tussauds, yet you thought what he was saying was actually true.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Yeah. So I believed it all. Anyways, so the next song here, what is the measure of your success? This was actually I didn't really like this song until I saw the video.
Yep.
And then once I saw the video, it was over. Great song.
Well, because he was great in the video, and he was jumping on the table, he was getting in people's faces, and then he became an old man. And so he started crawling towards the camera, looking old.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So this song, what is the measure of your success? It's about, well, hold on just a minute. Let me read. Oh, Steve left me a message about this too while he was getting ready. He was getting ready for his trip, and he left me a message about this too. So hold on just a minute. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone here.
Cue that up.
Just a second. Oh, here it is.
Listen, I'm really running behind time. I hope you don't mind if I do a quick toothbrush while I'm talking to you here. I've been getting a lot of questions on some of the different songs on the record, and I thought maybe we could also take this opportunity to tell you a little about some of those songs.
Brushing his teeth.
One of the songs is a song called "What Is the Measure of Your Success?" The song was written initially to do the kind of thing where I wanted to. Hold on, I'm working on a mess here. Jesus said, it comes from a verse in the Bible. In fact, I got the Bible verse right here. I'm going to show it to you. It's something that Jesus said to one of his disciples, and got it underlined right here in my passage. Here, you can go and I'll close up right here. For what is a man profited if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Nice, huh?
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So that was nice of him to you could tell he's really busy trying to get out on the road.
I know. I'm like, but you know what? To take the time to actually call, even in the midst of brushing his teeth. It
just shows he cares and is hygienic.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I love that he has probably nice breath. And did he floss?
I don't
Did you
know.
hear the flossing?
I didn't hear it, but
Is he going to come back later and talk to us about flossing?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
I don't think he left any more
That's a
messages.
shame.
But
that's a darn shame.
why don't we go ahead and put on what is the measure of your success? So
Yeah,
since
that's probably a good idea.
We're 25 minutes in, and we kind of have to play these songs. All right, here's what is the measure of your success.
This song is, I mean, he explained it, and I appreciate Steve taking the time to explain that to us.
Yeah,
While he was brushing his teeth. But
yeah,
this song, even while I was listening to it a couple of days ago, I thought, gosh, I don't know. It's easy to relate, I guess, when we're kids, we're listening to this song, and honestly, like, I knew that there was a boardroom on the video and everything, but I don't think I quite understood what he was trying to say, which was, I mean, you can find yourself into a place, into a position of leadership, into a position of power in the corporate world, or in any position really in life, and then essentially look back on it. And one, you can be intimidating while you're in these roles, but then you look back on it, and everyone at the end of their life finds themselves probably in a place of wishing for just one more day, trading all the things of the world, all the money, all the whatever the possessions that you have, just for one more day, because you can't take it with you. It's funny because he does say it in a part of the song, like, you can't take it with you. We'll see about that. Like, you're just so much arrogance in this individual that's like, no, I'm going to take it with me. I'm taking it all with me.
Yeah. And he says towards one of the last verses, I'm an old man and the word came, but you can't buy time or a good name. Now, when the heirs come around like buzzards on a kill, I see my reflection in their envious eyes. I'd watch it all burn to buy another sunrise. It's like, man, you know what? I've the arrogance, the need to gain the whole world. I now see it in my family. I've created this, and now they just want what I have. And that song, and again, listeners, if you can get online and watch the video. It's an incredible video. But anyways, moving on to the next song. The next song, Since I Gave Up Hope, I Feel a Lot Better. I remember listening to this one. The video, again, he had 4 cameras on him, and he walked around a school campus.
Yep.
And it's funny because I remember him saying, Since I Gave Up Hope, I Feel a Lot Better. And I didn't get the satire in any of it. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I remember going to my Sunday school teacher, and I'm like, I don't hope anymore. And this was John Harriet. And he's like, no, hope is a good thing. What the heck is Steve Taylor talking about? What is Steve Taylor talking about? Well, hold on. I think I've got another message from Steve.
Oh, do you really?
I think this might be the last one.
I'm so glad, because I've been so confused.
He's been awesome. Here he is. Steve?
I thought I would tell you a little bit about one of the other songs on the record that I've had some questions about. It's called Since I Gave Up Hope, I Feel a Lot Better. And I wrote this song as kind of a look through the wide eyes of a college freshman that goes to the state university. And he enrolls in an Ethics 101 class. And when he gets there, he finds out that the ethics professor really doesn't believe that there is such a thing as ethics. The professor's philosophy of life is life unwinds like a cheap sweater. Since I gave up hope, I feel a lot better. So it's kind of a satirical song, kind of a departure for me, I guess, don't you think? And I hope you like it. In fact, maybe I'll go ahead and play it for you right now. I'll go ahead and pop the tape in here.
Is Steve gonna come back?
No. Say goodbye. He's not coming back anymore. I know
he's not coming back anymore. That's too bad because there's some songs that I really still like to understand.
Well, he just said make up your own, make up whatever you want.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know.
So the next,
by the way, we should talk really quick about this cover.
Oh,
because the cover is I always thought this was an awesome cover.
So did I. Yeah,
and maybe it's because there's a memory of our parents videotaped this. This is when you should not have videotaped any concerts, and so they videotaped some of this concert. And some of the songs that I remember is, well, one of them specifically is Jim Morrison's Grave from this album.
Yeah,
but I remember the video passing through the merch table, and this being a big banner in the background of this cover, and thought, gosh, what a cool cover that is. And of course it came out, but this actually was also mistaken as a tarot card. And so
as a what?
It's tarot.
What's a tarot card?
You know what? I don't get involved in this type of voodoo witchcraft like you do. So why don't you tell me how this is?
It's called English. It's a language.
It says tarot card.
Tarot. It's not a tarot card, ding dong. It's tarot. It's a tarot card.
Tarot.
The T is silent.
It's not. It's right there. Why is it silent? I've never heard of a silent T.
Yeah, well,
my name's Matt.
I know, but we only pronounce one of the two T's. I want to say
that's not true. It's Matt.
Oh, that's why I've always thought that you were just lisping or something. So
no, it's
anyways. Matt. So it was mistaken as a tarot card. But did you know that tarot. that Steve Taylor's wife actually drew this? That this was a painting of hers?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, so she drew it. She painted it, and then he used it, and then it got mistaken as a tarot card. So this album, unfortunately, was put through the ringer on a lot of different levels, from the songs to the cover, which just went to show that the times were changing and people were wanting to be offended. Introducing our era now. So, anyways,
you know what though is he was really hoping that this album would do better, but he felt better after giving up hope.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, the next song is called Babylon, or maybe the way you might pronounce it is Babylon. I'm not sure what your English
used to
is
pronounce
like.
that Babylon like sure when we were little.
I'm sure you did. You and your tarots. So Babylon, but it's Babylon. But let's go and play this. And I don't know what it's talking about, but here we go.
dance in a broken time. Our fathers bled the ground, chained and bound. Cast away, should the remnant die? My hopes were growing up, overcome. She bewitched with a siren's cry. She beckoned, come and learn. Is there no return? Babylon, born in your walls, bred in your wind, captive and still, I hear the heavens
Well, what were you doing there with your hands? I know what it is.
It's
the
those
video
lights
has him with spotlights. So
with spotlights,
Anyways.
which is kind of bizarre. But what's this song about, Joe?
Babylon. So moving on to the next song.
Let's move on.
Moving on to the next song. It's about a baby who was hanging out on this lawn, and
What song is this?
lawnmowers started coming along, and it was Baby Lawn.
Oh, you just said this next song, which is actually Jim Morrison's Grave.
Well, I just decided to go back to Baby Lawn, and
I could see
talk
that.
about the baby and hanging out on the lawn.
It's
Anyways.
called Babylon.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to follow your points with not knowing what you're talking about. So
You know what? We need to move on to the next song right now and say, bye, bye, Babylon.
such a great song by Whiteheart.
It's such a great song.
Off the Freedom albums. Yeah, that's true. What were they talking about? We'll get to that one. We got to get to that one too.
We do have to get to that one right after we get to this one.
Yeah. So the next one, Jim Morrison's Grave. This is one of the few songs that I remember him playing at in concert before we even bought the album. And I thought when he first said, he didn't say Jim Morrison's Grave. I thought he said, the next song is at Madison Square. And I was like,
what?
Huh. This song.
Where did you hear that?
That's I'm just telling you what I heard. And
it makes no sense.
I know.
Like it says Jim Morrison's Grave.
Yeah, now I know. Then didn't know. So anyways, let's go ahead and play this song. This was kind of a big hit of his. He actually, it's on his Liver album too, where he did it live.
Yeah.
And kind of changed it around a little bit.
He did this song live?
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw him.
He played it live.
Yeah.
You just okay. I saw him play it live off of the Liver album. Actually, no, actually during the Squint tour, I saw him and he played it live.
Was it the Squinter National Tour?
It was the Squinter National Tour. And you know where I saw him? Knott's Berry Farm.
He went to Holland and every place, and you still saw him at Knott's Berry Farm.
He actually, this album did bring him to Australia, Canada, England, Finland, Hong Kong, Japan, New Zealand, Norway, Scotland, Sweden, and the Philippines.
Crazy.
Not to mention Knott's Berry Farm.
And Knott's Berry Farm.
In Buena Park, California. International Squinter National Tour.
Brought him all the way there. So,
yeah.
Anyways.
Let's listen.
Jim Morrison's Grave. because that's
kind of
one of
want
my.
to just listen to it.
I know. So I was just gonna
Like
say
all of
because it's one of my favorite songs. It's like I
Yeah.
just love to keep going. But how can we keep going when Svengali is coming up next?
I don't know, but I do need to say I have been to Jim Morrison's grave 3 times
Wow. Yeah.
in Paris.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a grave. It's a
Yeah.
grave.
Right.
It's a grave. You know, though, there's lots of flowers there, and there's lots of women's garments there.
Oh, you mean like they're scrunchies?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
They're scrunched.
yeah, I bet they are.
But I looked everywhere for a spray can scrawl on a cemetery wall that said "You better behave."
On a what
And
wall?
I didn't see it.
A cemetery?
Spray can scrawl on a cemetery wall.
Okay, just making sure you're seeing it right. Tear it. So,
you know, what's this next song about? Why don't you give me a tarot?
well, Svengali, first of all, he was an old man.
He was an old man.
He actually taught my government class in high school.
Oh, he failed you.
Yeah,
he
failed me. Oh wait, no,
Yeah,
that was
it was government.
Nope, that was Mr. Bradshaw,
Okay,
not
then-
Svengali.
Okay.
I get those two mixed up.
Bengali was my
sometimes.
fiddle teacher.
Oh, we're gonna stop. Svengali.
I'm just gonna have to keep my hands to myself.
You're like hitting your microphone every time you start to dance, And again,
I know
just wanna
this
say,
is the first episode I've done that on.
yeah, if you're not watching, you don't know what's going on this whole time between wiping the tears and hitting stuff and anything. But anyways, so the next song, Jung and the Restless, he during this tour, I believe I've seen several videos on YouTube, and when we saw him in concert too, this was the song he opened with, which was an awesome song to open with because he's yodeling. And
like that.
You could have been on The Sound of Music. You remind me
of with my yodel.
You remind me of you remind me of Julie Andrews. Is that her name? Anyways,
no, it was Maria.
Oh yeah, Maria. Yeah.
No one makes pizza like Maria.
Nobody makes pizza like Maria. Nobody makes pizza like Maria. I don't think
that's not the song.
I was gonna say. I was like, that
no
doesn't sound
one right. Like Maria.
Yeah.
Anyways, but this was a great song.
What's Young and Restless about?
I have no clue. I think it's about the young and the restless.
I think it kind of is. It's kind of a play on that.
I mean, it's just weird. It's like, I'm a musician, not a doctor. Or I'm a doctor, not a musician. What is that? I don't even know why that.
I don't even know what that means.
No clue.
He's a musician and not a doctor. Why are we talking about musicians?
She said, what can I believe in? He said, don't believe, just be. She said, you've got to give me one good reason to live. He said, I got to be me. Okay.
What's this mean? Steve, where are you? We can use your help. So, anyways, let's go ahead and play this because regardless of not knowing so much of what's going on, I love this song. I love the groove. I love the yodeling at the beginning. Anyways, let's go ahead and play it.
All right, let's play. I'm not touching my mic. First came stats, pulling habits out of rats. Now they may need more attention. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that at work. I'm going to use that at home. Yeah. Sit there and think, first came stats, pulling habits out of rats. Now
they may need more attention. First pulling stats. Yeah. That's good. So,
but I didn't even know that I know it was called Young and the Restless, but honestly, as I started listening to this album when we were getting ready to review it, I'm like, oh, it actually says Young and the Restless. Young and the Restless. Like, I didn't even know what it said.
You really?
I know.
Up until now, you never knew it said Young and the Restless?
No, I knew that the name was called Young and the Restless, but when I was listening to it, I didn't understand it because I was too young.
Oh, you were
restless.
Oh, you're too young. You were young. I was restless. I see what you did there. Yeah. So the next song is Innocence Lost. And, well,
let's play it.
I don't know what this song is about.
I don't know what it's about.
Here we go. Innocence Lost.
what I like?
No, what?
I like saxophone. Saxophone.
Yeah, he
This
uses
this Steve has saxophone.
got
And
sax. Sure do,
he's
Steve.
got sax. Speaking of, he met his wife, you know, between performing and
What are you
recording
speaking of?
this album.
What do you mean? Speaking
Debbie,
of,
his
does
wife,
Does she
Jeff
play
Butler
sax?
of Irvine, California.
You know what?
We need to not be doing these at 9 o'clock at
I
night.
know. Maybe that's what it is. It's been a long day. Anyways, you know what's funny though
But
is
she's from Irvine, California.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. But that means that when he played at Buena Park, he was pretty local, to her family. Like, hey, let's just stay over at your folks' house.
Yeah.
Anyways, a principled man. Let's get on to this next song.
Yes.
The principled man. This is talking about being principled. Why don't you explain that? Go for it, Matt. What's it mean to be principled? So this one,
I'll tell you what it means. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is what it means. Under a flag, they swore a bond.
Okay, you're just reading the words. You just read.
Are you the one standing your ground, or are you a principled man?
Oh, it's good. Anyways.
Followers fall, blinded by kings, lost in the lie of the land. Are you the one swore to be true?
Ooh.
Or are you a principled man? This song actually is, I mean, it you're reading all of it, but then it gets to the end.
Yes.
And it does go someplace.
It does.
Bleeding and hushed, hung between thieves. There the foundation began. Are you the one taking your cross? Are you a principled man?
Yeah. I was going to go there too, because that's really what it's all leading to. We're talking about being principled, and we're talking about being underneath, underneath God, really, when it comes down to our life. But then you get to the end and you're like, okay, here's what it's about. It's not just about all this other stuff. It's about, are you the one? You're carrying your cross. Are you a principled man? So it's funny. He also had those things hidden in there in a lot of his songs that was talking about your relationship with God. He was just incredible. He was a songsmith. Some people are, blacksmiths, and he was a songsmith. But
he was a poet.
He was a poet, and he knew it. Well, wait, he was a poet.
No,
and he knew
you're a poet and you didn't know it. You're a poet and I'm a poet and I didn't know.
And I do know it. But I was a principled man, for probably about 13 years of my life. It started where I was a principled man underneath Principle Daily. And then as it went on,
13 years.
Well, I was principled by Mrs. Daly in elementary school, and then as it went on,
13 years, unless you were in elementary school going into.
But then I went into the junior high, and I was principled there, and anyways, I became a principled man.
I thought you said like you're principled by Principle Daily.
No.
Do you remember Do you remember our principal in elementary school was named Principal Daly?
Well, that's why I said that.
Okay, so I thought you meant Daly. You were principal.
No. No, I was meaning Daly, Mrs. Daly. Anyways, whatever.
I thought you were being Principal Daly by a principal.
The joke's gone.
Because that would work too.
Let's listen to Principled Man.
Yeah, let's do that.
I see where you're going with that. I was Principled
Daily. You went there. I'm just trying to interpret.
I did. I should have explained it better. All right, 2 more songs on this album. A Principled Man.
Circle
All right. Well,
All right.
we can.
I heard you. I could just picture you 13 years old singing this song.
Can you?
Because you were Principal Daly.
I was Principal Daly. Didn't
Yeah.
know you. Didn't know you do. Anyways,
This next song, I think it's actually a pretty cool, like harder to believe than not to. It's not an easy song. Like when you read the words, you still kind of don't get it. But if you just listen to just that premise there, it's harder to believe than not to.
Yeah.
Really, at least talks about faith. Like it's actually, when you add up everything in the Bible, it's really more difficult not to believe in God than to believe in God. And there's so many people that look at the relationship or look at Christianity and say, like, I just can't believe in somebody I cannot see.
Yeah.
But it's actually, and if you've seen that movie, The Case for Christ, he actually says that. Like it's actually, it takes more faith not to believe than it does to believe.
Right. Yep. Exactly. And so this being the last song, he had a video on this one too. Starts off with a lady singing, which was interesting. And I remember this was another one that when it came on Real Videos, I'd be like,
I know.
Play a good one from Steve Taylor. Why are we playing
so
this?
Slow. And honestly, we should just start playing it because it takes forever.
It does. Let's just do it. All right, we'll talk about it.
It's fine, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, go.
Thanks, Steve, for the music.
Nothing is colder than the winds of change, where the chill numbs the dreamer till a shadow remains. Among the ruins lies your tortured soul. Was it lost there, or did you will surrender control? Shivering with doubts that were left unattended, so you toss away the cloak that you should have mended. Don't you know by now why the chosen few is harder to believe than not to? Harder to believe than not to. Oh. It was a confidence that got you by when you.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Yeah.
Yeah, great note, great song to end on.
Yeah, it is. And quite honestly, I think we've said enough. I think today we've said enough.
I think so too. We can get ourselves into much more trouble. We may need to edit some of this.
I don't think so. I think it's I think it's good right the way it is.
It is.
But anyways, so that was Steve Taylor's 1990. I predict 1990. Incredible album, have some incredible videos, and great songs on it. Trying to remember what it's all about. That's still kind of an enigma, but that's part of the beauty and the art of music is you start to kind of research it and listen to it more. And hopefully by listening to these podcasts, it brings people back to listening to some of these records and trying to pull out the words. Cause that's kind of what it's done for me. And I know it's done the same thing for you, Matt, but but anyways, episode 7 there in the books, we did it.
I predict 1990.
Yep.
This was basically his last album for a while before he went to Chagall Guevara, and then he had Squint after that. But
I don't know if you remember Chagall Guevara. I know we're trying to close out here, but Chagall Guevara, MCA sent us a cassette tape, and we had no idea how we got it.
I know,
or why we got it.
We didn't even know. We started listening to it,
yeah,
and we're like, "Who is this?" And then we heard "Play God." I think that was the first song.
Still Play God or something.
Play God, and we were like,
I know that voice.
I know that voice.
Yeah.
And then I think we looked at the front of it, and in the inside, did it even say Steve Taylor?
No, because it was like a white inside. Like it didn't even say anything. But we saw the picture and we're like, wait a minute, that's Steve Taylor. And still have no idea how we got it because it came in the mail. And we never signed up for his mailing list with Steve Taylor. So I really don't know if it was through a magazine or somehow they got it to us.
Well,
but
we did have somebody send us, and maybe it was sent by them, but the Limelight video VHS tape.
Yeah.
And so I almost wonder if this came from, I don't know, we thought it was coming from a Christian bookstore in Fresno. Maybe it was ordered and sent to us, and maybe that's how they got our mailing address. But nonetheless, we ended up getting that tape just in the mail out of nowhere, and we had no idea. Still to this day, have no idea how we got it. But But by the way, did you know this? And I know we're going to close this out, but really fast. Did you know that Jim Morrison Grave was on MTV?
No, I didn't know that.
It was actually on MTV. It's it brought Steve Taylor some MTV exposure. So interesting. The Christian stores basically started pulling it from the shelves. MTV picked it up. It reminds you of, this is how things went with Amy Grant. When she created a song called Baby Baby and this album and everything. And so it's unfortunate, but anyways, this is an awesome album. Steve Taylor's still one of my favorite Christian artists. And it's exciting to be able to review this.
So just a reminder to everybody, check out our Instagram, check out our Facebook page, Twin Speak Podcast. Again, it's Twin Speak, Christian music and other stuff, but like, subscribe to all of those. If you're wanting a sticker, you can go through either Instagram or the Facebook Messenger and just say that you want a sticker, and we'll get one of those out to you.
Joe will send them to you.
I'll send you what I have.
Okay, very good.
Which I don't have anything. You've given me nothing. So
make sure you subscribe also on iHeartRadio and Spotify and iTunes.
I don't know if we're actually on it, but Spotify and iTunes, yes, for sure. Subscribe, give us 5 stars. If you want us to keep on doing this, that's an encouragement to us and all that. So anyways, everybody, God bless you. Thanks for listening to Twin Speak. I'm Joe Prainito.
I'm Matt Prainito. Be good people. God bless you all. Thanks for listening.
Bye.